welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome! Welcome. I'm so excited for today's video, you have no idea. Fenty Beauty sent me their entire Cheeks Out collection when it comes to the blushes. Yes. Ever since Fenty Beauty announced the launch of the cream blushes since like March, I've been so excited. I was actually putting money aside to be able to buy 2 or 3 of them to review and wear. And when I got the whole collection, you can imagine my shock and all the tears like coming down. It's like, oh my gosh, are you serious right now? I mean, like, what is my life? You know, I'm so grateful. I have been playing with all the blushes for over a week now, and I'm really excited to share my thoughts with you guys. But first of all, since I had the whole collection, of course, I just had to do swatches. So I filmed myself doing cheek swatches the other day and totally ripped my cheeks apart. And I also applied them on my lips, so whatever you're about to see in the swatch video is on my cheeks and my lips as well. Keep that in mind. I am of a light medium to medium skin tone, so if you are of the same skin tone as me, I hope this video really helps you when it comes to the swatches. And without further ado, let's get into it. So again, those were my swatches on my cheeks and my lips. Now let's get into this review portion. This Cheeks Out line is actually part of their summer collection launch. They actually launched cream blushes and also cream bronzers, but today it's gonna be all about the blushes, baby. Now this retails for 96 ringgit. It is 20 USD, and I ain't gonna lie, this is a pretty steep price. It's expensive. Now I am comparing it to the bronzer, which is 145 ringgit, 32 USD, which may seem to be like really expensive as well, but. Now even though you're paying more for the bronzer, you are getting 6.23 grams of product in this, where else the blush, you're getting 3 grams of product in this, so you're actually getting double the product and more in the bronzer. Now, I did do the math, and if my math serves me right, you're actually paying 9 ringgit more per gram for the blushers. So to put it in perspective, if this bronzer was actually the same size as the blush, this would probably cost you about 69 to 70 ringgit compared to a 96 ringgit blush. Packaging is gorgeous as usual. I love how they added like the cream text there, and it's so funky, like it's so on brand. And on top of that, they kept the whole hexagonal compact. It's so cute. It's so tiny. You can literally just like, it's so easy to travel, put it in your bag. And what I really like about the packaging is that even though it's so tiny, it actually still has a mirror. So when you're on the go, you can still, you know, open it up and just do a quick touch up, and you don't have to like, you know, scramble to find another mirror. I know that can be like really frustrating sometimes. So this is great. Like packaging A+. Now this doesn't really have a smell. However, if I do really have to put a scent on it, I would say it smells a little bit like wax, but it's barely noticeable. Like it really just smells like nothing. Now as for formula, of course I'm gonna read what they had to say about their own product. They said, a light as air, non-greasy cream blush that instantly melts into skin for an effortless wash of color, giving life to all skin tones with a no-fuss, natural-looking flush in 10 sheer shades. And of course, to summarize the claims that they have listed on the Sephora website, it instantly gives your skin a fresh face flush that looks really natural. It's easy to use, impossible to overdo, sheer buildable finish, melts into the skin. There's more that they wrote, but honestly, everything just results into you having fresh, healthy, natural looking skin. Alright, let's leave it as that. It's too repetitive. Now, first things first, I just want to say you're probably going to be hearing me sing praises about this blush from here on out. And I promise I have really, really good reasons to back it up. I can back up my love, okay? Firstly, I just want to say I love, love, love how these blushes look on the skin. Amazing, people. Amazing. Like the claims, it looks so natural. It makes your skin look so glowy, so healthy. It gives you that natural looking flush, like you just went for a slight jog, a little bit of sweat, a little bit of pink coming through. This gives you everything and more. I'm wearing it on my cheeks today, and I don't even need to wear highlighter with this because it just gives you such a nice glow. And honestly, even though I've been playing with this for like a week and a half now, I can really picture myself using this a lot, guys. It is so good. It's my new favorite, and that's a statement. Okay, so let's talk about the formula a little. Now, when I first got these, I actually opened all of them up and I laid them out in front of me just to take a quick look at all the shades, you know. And one of the things that I noticed was about 2 to 3 of them were actually sweating. Like you could see the little beads on all of them, like that water look. Honestly, it didn't really bother me because a lot of products I receive or buy even actually have those, especially when it comes to like lipsticks and other creamy products. And I normally look at it as like, okay, there's a lot of shipping involved. Malaysia is like really, really hot and humid, and sometimes your products just don't make it through that process of delivery. So I normally am quite forgiving, but I will say I was a little skeptical. Because now with technology, things have gotten better and a lot of things don't do that anymore. So I did do some research into some of the ingredients, the formula and such, and I have made a conclusion, but more like an assumption, that it's about the oils that they use in this formula that does cause a little bit of sweating. But I will say, because I've tested all 10, the sweating does not bother me because it does not alter the formula or anything. Nothing affects it, so it still is really good. Texture wise, these blushes are actually really, really creamy and super easy to blend out. They're really creamy, really lightweight, and they almost have a little bit of like this oily slip. And I'm not talking about something like their glow stick, kind of that oily slip, but this is just really slight and it almost helps it to blend out a bit better. Now I compared this to another cream blush that I have that I thought was a little similar. Now this is the Can Make Cream Cheek. Now the Can Make one definitely feels creamier and thicker. Like when you rub your finger in this and you do this, it's a bit more like that fluffy, almost a bit of like a thick moisturizer-ish kind of a feeling. The Fenty ones, however, when you do this, you can almost feel like there's this oily slip in between your fingers, and I really do think that is what helps it blend out. This is great. Amazing. Now, I have tried all 10 blushes in various ways, and what I can say is they actually all hold up really, really well. Now, I wore these for like hours, like a good 7 to 8 hours every day just to make sure, and all of them actually held up to it. However, we are still in quarantine. I'm a bit scared that this won't really last under the sun and like the humidity and the sweat. I did try to work out while wearing one of these, and I think because like I touched my face quite a lot, you can tell like there were like fingerprints and like just gashes on blush missing. But learn from me, you guys. Just don't wear makeup when you work out, okay? Just don't. But one thing that I will say I'm really impressed with... Okay. Hear me out. You know how sometimes when brands put out like a launch for a bunch of product, whether it's multiple eyeshadow palettes or glosses, lip stuff, blushes in this case, and you know how in that line there will somewhat always be that like one palette that doesn't perform like the others, or one color that stands out way better. In glosses, maybe this one, like one particular one is way too glittery than the rest. You know what I'm saying? Like there's just a little bit of like that difference, because sometimes there's always one or two that either stands out in a really good way or a really bad way. You know? But they have found a way, and like props to Fenty Beauty. I don't know how they did this, but all of the blushes perform equally. Like the wear time, even if like it fades, the formula, everything. Like it's equally good. I can't actually bring a like a standout shade just because, you know? I don't know, it's weird. Like I was like, wow, for a line to have so many variation in colors, these are really, really good. Not only just equally amazing, but they are all wearable. Yeah, you heard me. They're all wearable. A lot of people were asking me, how do you wear the more brighter colors like the orange, the bubblegum pink, the purple, especially the purple. This purple blends out like a bit more of like that purpley undertone pink kind of a blush shade like you saw in the swatches, and it looks nothing like in the pan. Don't let the product in the pan scare you off. I promise you, it doesn't look like this on your cheeks. And I think what's really important that I realized is that I can actually picture all 10 shades on every skin tone. Now, my preference is actually using it on bare skin, or if I'm using foundation, a very light coverage foundation like what I have on my face right now. I'm actually wearing a very light coverage foundation with the blush on top, and it looks really nice in person. Like, I don't know how it's translating on the camera because I don't have a viewfinder to see, but honestly, like in person, it looks so natural, and it blends like a freaking dream. You can wear this on top of full coverage foundations. However, I will say I don't really quite like the look because this is so natural, and then your foundation is like really high coverage, and for me, I don't know, I just don't like that look on myself. It almost looks a little bit fake. I don't know, it just felt weird. Like, I just feel like the full coverage foundation with the blush on top, it just takes away the natural look just a little bit, you know what I mean? Another thing that I really enjoy about cream products in general is their versatility. I have the shade 04 and Crush on Cupid on my cheeks today, and normally what I do is if I have some left over on my finger, I will just tap it on my lips. Today I decided to wear my favorite shade as a lip color, as in like the favorite shades to be on the lips. This is 08 in Summertime Wine. So what I did was I just put my finger in, just dabbed it on my lips a little bit just to give it a little stain, and then I topped it off with a gloss. I used the Gloss Bomb, of course, in Fenty Glow just to top it off, just to give it a little bit more of that, you know, glossy summertime look. Alright, so now let's just get into a couple of my recommendations on application. I think if you're new to makeup, or even if you're just like on the go, it's so easy to just use your God-given tools, your fingers and your hands. Drop your finger in the pan and you just dab it onto your face, and what you do is you just slowly move the product around to really just give you that natural flush, blend it into the skin. This is actually my least favorite method to apply it. Even though it looks so great, I think there are better ways. I think using a wet sponge is really unnecessary because you're almost using more product and the results are going to be the same. So I think it's a waste. What you can do is actually use a dry sponge. It doesn't have to be like a beauty blender kind of a sponge. It could even be like those wedges ones, you know, like the wedge, the sponge wedge and stuff. Yeah, you can just use that and really just like slowly tap it into your skin. It looks absolutely beautiful. But my favorite way, I use a brush, but not just any brush. I use this brush. Now, this brush was sent to me by Fenty Beauty. This is their face shaping brush. And can I just say, this is so good for cream products. This is to die for. So what I do is, again, I rub my finger inside the blush, just put it on my skin, move it around a little bit, just with little dabs, and then I go in with this brush and I really just brush it in, like buff it into the skin, and then I just like stipple it. Like I stipple and brush a little bit into the skin just to even everything out. Guys, it looks the most amazing. It gives you the intensity that quick. It's just perfect to me. Like it's so good. It's so good. So if you can buy this brush, I'm not saying you need to go out and buy this brush, okay? But like, I would use this brush for a lot of things. A lot of things. This is a really good brush, so I would recommend it. If you can't, it's okay. You can always use a different brush as long as it can help you buff the blush in. Oh yes, another thing that you can do is actually use the brush and just go in straight into the pan and like slowly stipple and like, you know, build it up. But I find that you can get to the whole intensity and like how it looks with you using your finger, but I think it takes longer. Like the layers are just a lot thinner and lighter, so it just takes a long time. So I think the fastest way that looks the best is really going in with your fingers to tap on the product first and just like buffing it out with a brush. Beautiful, super amazing, seriously. And you have full control of how you want the intensity to be. Beautiful. And on top of that, you don't use as much product as using a sponge or going in straight with the brush. It's amazing. Now my recommendation is that this is for everyone. Whether you're a beginner, an expert, anyone in between, I think you can really find joy and easiness using this product. I can actually imagine anyone, like any skin tone, any skin type, enjoying this product. And I know that creams seem very intimidating for people. I know people like to use powders instead of creams, but guys, this is so easy to use. Honestly, I love this so much. I would actually buy like a shade or two, gift it to a friend. If you're a boyfriend wanting to buy this for your girlfriend, I would buy a shade. But guys, it's good, and I do believe that any age group would really enjoy this. Even if you have aging skin, I think cream products are like the most forgivable. So again, I think these are great and made for everyone. But I will say, if I had to give this like a ranking, I would give it a 9 out of 10, and I will minus 1 only because this is so small. I think if you were to use this every day for like 3 to 4 months, you would probably hit pan and finish really, really quickly. Okay, if you can get this to like 5 grams for around the same price, like maybe like 105 max, like 10 ringgit more max for another 2 grams, whew, you'd get a 10 out of 10. But in the moment, I'm gonna give you 9 because this is tiny. Alright guys, so that was a long one, as always. But I hope that this was helpful for you guys. I'm really sorry, but sometimes I really love going into detail so you know what you're getting yourself into when you're thinking about purchasing a product. Money is so hard to come by, especially with the situation right now. I know a lot of us just don't want to spend that money. So if you are, I want to make sure that you are completely aware about what you're getting yourself into. Hence why I just love laying everything out there. So I'm sorry this was long. But thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more, make sure you subscribe to my channel. And until next time, I will see you then. Bye!